Zimbabwe and the European Union have had a checkered relationship. The bloc imposed sanctions against President Mugabe and his allies in 2002. Many have been lifted, but Mugabe and his wife still remain on the sanctions list. 2 months ago, Mugabe boycotted the EU's Africa summit after the First Lady was denied a visa. Some analysts sense the relations are easing.
We are seeing a slight diplomatic shift in terms of relationship between European Union and Zimbabwe. Why? Because the 31st of July elections have since attested that it's ZANU-PF that is in control. And given the factional squabbles that are in the MDC, the EU, they don't have any other option but to deal with the current government.
Several European nations have approached Mugabe in their individual capacities and pledged support for the government's economic recovery plan.
It is not just Europe that is making the overtures. The government here is also extending a hand to the EU. A cabinet minister earlier this month assured the EU that there would be no further land grabs, a move seen as a way of hoping to attract much-needed funding from the West.
Zimbabwe suffered several years of recession, and the government has been struggling to revive the economy despite abundant natural resources. Analysts believe the ruling party also is rethinking its outlook toward the EU.
ZANU-PF cannot continue with its militant diplomacy on the European Union because you look at who brought this crisis on our door. It was firstly a diplomatic row between Britain and Zimbabwe under the leadership of Tony Blair. But Blair has since left the direct involvement in Britain's politics. So Zimbabweans are fast realizing that no, the onus and discretion is upon them to reorient their diplomatic relations with Europe, which goes beyond personalities.
Still, several obstacles remain. The biggest, that Mugabe and the First Lady remain on the sanctions list. Farai is also suing the EU for $42 billion, what the country claims it lost during the sanctions. Farai Mwakutuya, CCTV, Harare, Zimbabwe.